everyone, my name is Sean Terada Yang, and I was one of the winners in the 2024 edition of the Frances Walton Competition. I always look for great excuses to be back in Seattle. This time, I am headed to Alaska in a handful of days. Every flight plan had me spending a little bit of time in Seattle, so I decided why not turn a 12-hour layover into a 4-day one. So I've been enjoying the great weather in Seattle this week. And yeah, I'm headed up to Alaska for a series of Beethoven performances, but very excited to be in Seattle beforehand. Headed up to Sitka between August 1st to the 14th, doing a bit of a Beethoven-focused piano concert series with 6 other piano colleagues. Sitka, it seems, already has a very rich music festival culture, and this time this piano program is going to be a part of it. The program is called Art of the Piano, and we will be giving, I think, between 4 to 5 concerts strictly of Beethoven's repertoire, as well as some public master classes and lectures throughout the 2 weeks. The East Tour, I remember we spent maybe 4 or 5 days going through areas like Chelan, Omak, and Yakima. Hopefully I'm not missing too many other locations. But yeah, each of the places were so beautiful. I also really loved getting to see the true variety of biomes that I've been told about throughout the state of Washington. So we got to see a bit of the drier areas of Washington as well. And it was really lovely getting to see all the different food cultures. I was a big fan of a particular taco truck that I think was in Chelan. And the different types of communities and audiences that we came across, I really loved kind of the younger school audiences that we interacted with in Omak. In Chelan, there was also some beautiful audiences that came out to our concerts. I really loved all the collaborations that I did with a fellow winner, Kana Funayama. And so together, I remember also during our downtime exploring as much as possible of each of those communities. I know one big highlight was I got to go jet skiing in the off season of Lake Chelan. So there was no need for any precautions with the speed in the jet ski. I was the only one out there on the lake. And I think I stayed out there for 2-3 hours while Whitney and Kana went out to do a little bit of shopping in Chelan. So that tour remains one of my favorite music memories. And to have been able to do it in Washington was another huge highlight. One song that I remember very distinctly was a piece that I pulled from the Coco soundtrack. So this was 2 years ago. I think Coco was still pretty heavily relevant for many of the young kids that we would play for. I remember feeling very moved by the themes of Coco. I think at the time, our family was also going through a bit of loss and grieving. And for perhaps many of the kids that we were playing these concerts for, they were also feeling very strongly the themes of family. The song that I pulled from Coco was a short ballad called, I think, Remember Me. And Remember Me is a piece that resonates with many audiences that I play them for. But I think for this particular concert tour, Remember Me held an even stronger relationship because it is a movie that resonates very heavily with the Latino community. And I had been told by many mentors over at the Ladies Musical Club of Seattle that I should expect to be able to connect with not only the indigenous communities of Central Washington, but also, a big Latino community. And for that purpose, I thought Remember Me was not only very memorable for the audiences, but very memorable for me for the types of reactions and sentiment that it received at these performances. In the interim, the tour left such a strong impression on me that I began to seek out more outreach opportunities. Just recently, I was in Minneapolis. I was very humbled to be one of their artist in residencies at their local Minnesota public radio station. And through that residency, I had the opportunity again to do similar outreach opportunities, playing at these younger elementary schools, as well as playing in nursing home communities. So that's a new type of outreach that I've spent more time doing. In the past year, I have moved from Detroit to Houston, Texas to do my doctorate at Rice University. And in Houston, there's also a very big medical center called the MD Anderson campus. And there, I've also been trying to look for outreach opportunities where I play for ICU patients and their patient families. That type of outreach has been very meaningful for me. I remember 2 years ago, something I loved to talk about on the tour was the way that I had the honor to explore both medicine and music as a college student. I had kind of set that aside a little bit during my master's, but in Houston, I think inspired especially by the outreach that I got to do in Washington, I sought out ways to extend that outreach into the medical community. So that's one avenue of my life that I've been very excited about. So the outreach program with MD Anderson is something that I'm hoping to spend a lot of time with. In addition, I've been working hard to design a website, so hopefully once that launches, it'll feel like one big hurdle has been passed for this next half year. Something else that I'm very excited about is I am presenting my first concert ever in Japan in December. So of course the preparation for that will probably be very anxiety-inducing, but I'm very much so looking forward to the relief and excitement for the, I guess, sense of accomplishment that I will feel after that performance. The next year, I'm also hoping to do a lot of recording. So there's about 4 hours of solo repertoire that I've built over the past year and a half. Unfortunately, I've done a very poor job of actually placing some sort of recording of all of this repertoire. So a big focus of my solo activity will be for recording purposes. As far as advice for the application process goes, I think sound matters so much. Recently, I've had the privilege of doing quite a bit of judging myself. And you can spend all this time wanting to look good, wanting to find a space that looks good, but especially being a pianist, the instrument that I play on matters so much. Maybe hiring the best sound engineer in the area to make sure that the sound quality of your files are the best they could be. I think that element of audio quality matters so much for an application to the Frances Walton Competition. In addition, I think sharpening up any sort of public speaking chops that you may be exercising, I think that aspect of the competition makes the Frances Walton Competition so special. So I feel like shopping around this particular program, around your local community, and speaking about it with audiences that may be classical music lovers and also just music lovers on the fringe of classical music, being able to relate to both of these types of audiences through your public speaking, I think is great preparation for the competition. Speaking of stuff that I've been doing in the interim, I've been told many times that the older I get, the actual city or campus that I do my piano studies shouldn't be the place that I spend 100% of my time in. And I remember just 2 years ago, that was my first time ever being in Seattle, and it left such a great set of memories for me, not only because of how beautiful the city is during the summer, but also through all the beautiful people I met through the LMC. And so there are a handful of people that I still remain in touch with through the organization, and that keeps me wanting to come back to Seattle. So I just wanted to say thank you to the LMC and all of its supporters for their continued, advocacy for musicians like me. And they make it so easy for me to come back to Seattle every now and then. So thank you all.